Welcome to Times Imagination, your favorite story channel. In a small town where lemon trees lined the streets and everyone knew each other by name, lived a girl named Mariam. She was kind, thoughtful, and full of ideas. But there was one thing Mariam struggled with most. She was afraid to speak in front of others. Mariam loved stories. Her favorite place in the whole world was the school library, a cozy room with shelves full of books that smelled of old paper and adventure. Every afternoon, she would slip inside, curl up in her corner, and lose herself in books. In her notebook, she filled pages with poems, ideas, and dreams. But when it came to sharing them, her lips would stay sealed. In class, Mariam always knew the answer, but she never raised her hand. Her cheeks burned at the thought of everyone staring at her. Her friends sometimes teased kindly, "Mariam, your mind is full of treasure, but no one will ever see it if you keep it locked away." Mariam just hugged her notebook tighter and smiled shyly. One day, the school principal gathered the students and teachers in the assembly hall. He announced, "The library is not being used enough. We are thinking of turning it into a storeroom." Gasps echoed across the hall. For many, it was just a dusty room with shelves, but for Mariam, it was her sanctuary, the place where her dreams and courage lived. Her heart dropped. Without the library, where would children discover adventures? That night, Mariam filled her notebook with pages about the library's importance. But she whispered to herself, "Even if I write the most beautiful words, who will listen to me? I can't speak in front of everyone. My voice will shake." Her teacher, Miss Laila, noticed her sadness. She picked up Mariam's notebook one day and read a few lines. "These words," Miss Laila said softly, "could change hearts. Why don't you share them at the school meeting tomorrow?" Mariam's eyes widened. "Me? Speak? In front of the principal? In front of everyone?" Miss Laila smiled. "Courage isn't about not being afraid, Mariam. It's about speaking even when your voice trembles." That night, Mariam couldn't sleep, but she remembered all the heroes in her book, the ones who weren't fearless but who tried anyway. She whispered to herself, "If the stories in these books gave me courage, maybe I can give courage to others." And she decided she would try. The next morning, the entire school gathered again. The principal repeated, "The library will be closed. We will use the room for storage." Mariam's hand shook as she stood up. Her classmates turned to look at her. Her notebook trembled in her grasp. At first, her voice was tiny. I want to say something." Everyone grew silent. Her voice shook. But then she began. "The library is not just a room full of books. It is a place where dreams are born. It is where we learn courage, where imagination takes flight, and where lonely hearts find company in stories. If we close our library, we close the doors to countless adventures." Her words grew steadier and stronger. "I know I am shy, but the library gave me a voice, even when I was too afraid to speak. Please, don't take it away." For a moment, there was a silence. Then, a few students clapped. More joined, and soon the whole hall echoed with applause. The principal cleared his throat. "Young Mariam," he said, "you have reminded us of something precious. The library shall remain. In fact, we will add more books and make it a place where students can share their own writing." Cheers erupted. Mariam blushed, but her heart glowed. From that day on, Mariam was not only the girl with the notebook, she was the girl who found her voice. And whenever she felt nervous, she remembered bravery is not about being fearless, it is about speaking up even with shaking hands and a trembling voice. And so, dear listeners, remember your words matter, your voice can change hearts. Don't be afraid to share it because sometimes the quietest voices hold the loudest courage. So, this was the today's stories, and we will meet in the next one. Until then, bye bye.